So we're going to be looking at solving one-step inequalities today. So here's the video. So basically it's going to work just like solving equations, except you're not going to see equal signs. You're going to see less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. Okay. So first things first, some of you maybe remember in middle school, but you're going to have these two dots that you're going to be using on your number line. So when you have the closed dot, that's going to be your less than or equal to, and your greater than or equal to. Okay. And then when you have the open dot, that's less than and greater than. So when you have your inequality, you're going to solve it just the way you will solve an equation. Inverse operations and doing the same thing to both sides. So this is negative 12 is greater than x minus 7. So we're going to start off by adding 7 to both sides. Of course, you can still draw that line if you feel like you need it. That's going to cancel out. So here I'm left with negative 5 is greater than x, which is my answer. Now, if it feels better, you may want to switch it around and write x is less than negative 5. So that way you know that your less than negative 5s will be your negative 6, negative 7, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to go to negative 5 and I'm going to put an open dot. Okay, because it is no equal to there, so less than sign. Okay, then my arrow is going to be going to the left because that represents my numbers that are less than negative 5. And that's it. All right, number 3, I have n minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 14. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and I get n is less than or equal to negative 8. So this is less than or equal to for my sign, so we're going to have a closed dot this time. Okay, and it's going to be going to the left because that represents my numbers that are less than or equal to negative 8. So that'll be negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, all the way to negative infinity. All right. Number 5, I have a minus 17 is greater than negative 16. So we're going to add 17 to both sides like so. I'm going to have a is greater than positive 1. Okay, so we're going to have an open dot at 1, and we have it's greater than 1, so I'm going to draw my arrow to the right, and my numbers that are greater than 1 are 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to positive infinity. Number 7, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and then I'm going to have v is less than or equal to negative 12. So here we're going to have a closed dot on negative 12, and we're going to be going to the left. Okay. Now number 9, it's an important rule that you have to make sure that you do. Our first step is to divide by negative 3. Okay, so when you're dealing with inequalities and you divide or multiply by a negative, your sign or your inequality sign is going to switch. So if I had greater than at first, now it's going to be less than. Okay, so please make sure you don't forget that. It cancels out here. I have x is less than negative 1. Okay, so here we're going to have an open dot on negative 1. And our arrow is going to go to the left. All right, in our last odd problem, we have k over 4 is less than negative 4. It's a fraction, so it's division. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And I am multiplying by a positive number, so I do not need to switch any signs here. So I'm going to have k is less than negative 16. Okay, so I'm going to put an open dot on negative 16, and it's going to be going to the left to represent my numbers that are less than negative 16.